What is going on, everybody? It is Nidge here from Nidge Plays, and welcome to what is episode 11 of our Real Betis career mode save. If you've not watched all of the series, feel free to go back and catch up on where we are now. There's a playlist that I'll put in the description, so if you've not watched up to this point, feel free to go back and catch up. Today's episode is going to be a bit of a different one, actually. We've got 3 games, starting off with Getafe in the second leg of our Spanish Cup game, which who knew that there were 2 legs in Spanish Cup matches in the round of 32? I mean, when I saw that we had them in the cup again, I was like, what? I thought we'd already beaten these, but no, it's a 2-legged game, so we play the second leg of that first. We then go into the next round of the Spanish Cup in our next game, which is against Espanyol, which it all seemed very strange to me, because we seemed to play the first leg against Getafe ages ago. There's a huge gap to the second leg, and then you play the second leg, and then the next game's in the next round of the cup, because if you didn't know, we won the first leg, so it was a pretty comfortable affair, this game. But the third game is then against Real Valladolid in the Spanish League, so we only get the 1 league game in today, and it's 2 cup games, and it felt a bit strange when I was doing it. But the reason that there's only the 3 matches today is because we are now in January in the transfer window. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the first half like I am now, where I'm talking back over the gameplay. Then after the third game, we're going to cut to a livecom situation where I'll talk you through the squad, where I'm looking to strengthen, a few players I'm looking at, that kind of thing. So it's going to be a bit of a different video. Like I say, we've got first half's going to be all the matches, and it's going to be me retrospectively doing the commentary, and then it's going to cut to me live coming the transfer situation. So I hope that makes sense to everybody. If it doesn't now, I'm sure it will later on. But as I was saying, we do go through in the Spanish Cup there. You see at half time we're 2-0 up, and we'd won the first leg 1-0 already, I believe. So it wasn't a very comfortable game, but the scoreline was comfortable in the end. But we were the better team. They did come into it a little bit when we were 2-0 up, but it was never in doubt. It was one of those games where we were always in control, really. I mean, the reason they came back into it was more me taking my foot off the gas more than anything. I think you see from the stats there that they were quite close, but that was purely because I took my foot off the gas in the second half. And as you see now, it is the next round, and it's against Espanyol. And while that one is playing, I was going to talk about a couple of things that have happened today. As I record this now, it is Tuesday, and the date is, let me just check, the 29th of July. A couple of things have happened today in the world of football. The main one, I think, is Ross Barkley has signed a new deal with Everton, a 4-year deal, which is pretty cool if you're an Everton fan, but I just think it's just to make sure when he does go that his price is going to be as high as they can get it, more than anything, to be honest. But that's one thing that's happened today. The other thing that's happened is about, I seem to be talking about Southampton's transfers in every episode just lately, but the chairman's come out and he said that they're not going to sell Jay Rodriguez, and they're not going to sell Morgan Schneiderlin either now. Schneiderlin seems to want out pretty badly, because I saw, probably not even 20 minutes ago as I'm recording this, that he put a tweet out that was something along the lines of 6 years with Southampton, saying it was a dream, and that it's all been ruined in the space of an hour. So I'm assuming he's had a meeting with the chairman. The chairman's told him he's not going, and he's pretty pissed off about that right now. So yeah, it's all falling apart at Southampton. I think I saw there was 7-1 to get relegated next season, and that is worth a pound right now in my book, because they are not looking in good shape. Not just squad-wise, but the spirit in that place in a minute seems to be destroyed. And we'll move on to the other story which I was going to talk about, which I think this was actually yesterday that they were talking about this, if I remember correctly, but a bit of a strange one, this. So Louis van Gaal, obviously the new Man United manager, has been doing the pre-season training, and apparently he's made Luke Shaw train on his own because he thought he was too unfit. Really shocked me that did when I saw that. I mean, you know, to have a new player in, you want him to be bonding with, oh sorry, a bit of a hiccup there, you want him to be bonding with the rest of the team, keeping that morale high. So just to chuck him to one side, tell him he's unfit, and he needs to train harder, I thought that was very strange. You see, we just about get the 1-0 win in that game there towards the end, a nice sweaty corner goal, but there is obviously another leg of that cup round to go as well, so can't read too much into that yet. That could go either way, because like, if you didn't get the picture of that game from the clips there, it was a pretty tight game, and it could have gone either way. Like I said, I struggled to score, and it was only a sweaty corner goal near the end that got us that 1-0 win. And now we head into our league game against Valladolid, which I always feel the need to say in a very strange accent, because it sounds very, very Spanish. But as I think any team in Spain that begins with Real or Rayo, I feel the need to put on some sort of accent, but there we go. But yeah, Luke Shaw made to train on his own. Very strange, like I say. I mean, there's a couple of players actually. Luke Shaw's one that seems to have come back unfit, according to Van Gaal, this is obviously. And the other one is at Newcastle, that was last week that this came out, that Pardew, I think, had fined Hatem Ben Arfa for not coming back in good shape, which was a again. But two players that aren't even... What am I trying to say? They're quite small, known for being thin players, if that makes sense. I know all footballers are really, really fit, obviously, but these are two players that are like bombing up and down the wing for most of the game. Luke Shaw especially, so you'd expect them to be kept in shape even while they're on the holidays for post-season. But nice goal from Cedric here to put us 1-0 up. This was one of the games where we were really, really dominant, but we were really struggling to score, and we finally get the breakthrough there, and it takes quite some time to get it. I think it's in the 70th minute, something like that. But it was a nice goal, cut inside well. But as soon as we did go and score, the keeper comes out to get the ball there and concedes a penalty for Valladolid. But yeah, as I was saying, I was just shocked about Ben Arthur and Luke Shaw. I think it's very, very bad when any player comes back unfit. Never mind Luke Shaw at a new club as well. That's pretty poor from him. And he's a player that I've rated quite highly. He's a young player, he's got a big future. It's a shame he's gone to United, but what can you do? You'll see here, Betis take the penalty, and how composed is this cheeky little bastard here? I dive to the right, and he just dinks it down the middle, mugging me off completely. But like I said, it was one of those games where we'd been in control for pretty much all the game, and it took us ages to get the opening goal. So for them to come back into it, and they came back into it pretty much straight away as well. I think it was about 5 minutes after we'd scored. Really was a bit of a kick in the teeth, but nevertheless, we do pick up where we left off. Now it's here going on a storming run. I played him in Cam in this game. Cuts it back well, gets the shot away here, straight at the keeper. That's what seemed to be happening a lot in this game. Just any shot was going into the keeper. But then a big moment from the right back. Juan Fran bursts forward and fires it right into the far corner to make it 2-1 and give us the win. And I must say, this season both my wing backs have been absolutely superb for me. Juan Fran on the right, and it's mainly been Chica on the left hand side of defence. They've both been phenomenal all season, just getting up and down that wing, and good movement, and a couple of goals between them as well, which you don't really expect too much from your left back or right back. But at this point, I'm going to show you the league table. I'm now going to cut to the second half of the video. And welcome to part 2, ladies and gentlemen. So in this part, we're just going to be having a look at the shortlist that we've built up, a little look at the team, where we need to improve for the second half of the season, all that kind of thing. But first of all, I just thought I'd show you the table. We've not been on a bad run lately, and we've managed to close the gap to just a point. Sociedad and Barcelona have both got games in hand over us, and to be honest, it's looking like that top 3 is going to stay how it is. So I imagine, well, Real Madrid look like they are running away with the league at the moment, and then it's probably between Atletico and Barcelona for second and third. Then it's looking after that like it's going to be Sociedad, Valencia, and us, hopefully, competing for that final Champions League spot. So fingers crossed we can keep in touch with Sociedad. We're only, like I say, a point off, and I'm kind of hoping that their game in hand is against Barcelona, so that if Barcelona beat them, then they will just stay that 1 point ahead of us. But you'll see, goals-wise, we're about the same. Well, we are exactly the same as Valencia for goals scored. We've conceded 1 more than Valencia, so we're about right for where we are in the league. Nothing too amazing, nothing disastrous, and goals scored or against column. Just thought I'll show you the player stats again. Bale's, this is Spanish Cup, because we've got a Spanish Cup game at this point, you see. There we go. Bale's still top scorer, got 12 now. Neymar's second. Amrabat for Malaga in third place. Bit of a shock one there. Is our highest one still Baptiste? Yeah, still with... I know he's got 6 at 5 last time. He's dried up a bit since then, and that's one of the things I think we do need to improve in this squad. It's definitely a striker. So we're going to stick Chica back in at left back, because I believe he is back from his injury. He's pretty much back, so we'll stick him there. And then that shows you what I believe our strongest team. There's Ray, as I was saying, he's gone up. I'll show a squad report after, but he's been doing really well lately. Oh, didn't mean to go back again there. So Adan in goal. You see they're all in really good form, apart from Baptiste. Like I say, he's dried up lately. Adan, Juan Fran, Amaya, Paulo, Chica, Nosa, or Igilbo, whatever his name is. Nosa is what I stick to. Video on one wing, Cedric on the other, Verdu in Cam, Baptiste up front, partnering Castro, and there's a few people that you've seen throughout the season so far fade in and out of the team. So Reyes has been playing more of a part than I thought he would. He's a 70 overall, only 22. He's been doing well when he's been called upon. Figueras has had a stint at centre back. Juan Carlos has had a stint at Cam. Origi's in and out all the time. His form's really good, but for me, Origi in the league, he's the kind of player he'll go 3 games without scoring, then he'll score a hat trick. So it's a bit frustrating for me, because he always seems to get that hat trick in like some lower down on the agenda cup game or something like that, and not quite what we want from him. We needed to be a bit more consistent, which is why he's on the bench. Jonathan Dos Santos, who is now 75, he's on the bench. Thinking about playing him a bit more often, perhaps, and I'm considering if Verdu was to go, we could play Nosa at Cam and then play Dos Santos at CDM. That's a possibility. So, although he's been on the bench quite often this season, I think he's still got a big part to play for us this year. Molina, in and out the team, in and out in form. Salva Sevilla's done okay when he's been called upon. And down here, basically, everyone down here could go, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, none of them are vital at all to us. To be fair, there's a couple in there, like Pakisi's filled in well at times, Nacho's filled in well, Matia's done okay. Didak's been a bit of a letdown, to be honest. I know he's a 76 overall, but Chica, who's only 73, has been so much better than him at left back. But that's our squad, and like I say, I think the main areas where we need to strengthen up front is the priority, and you'll see that in the short list. But we'll just have to see what happens, really. I mean, offers, we haven't had any offers for anybody yet. We are on the 8th, I believe. Yes, January the 8th. We've had no offers for anybody as of yet, but I think we will do because of the form of some of the players. I think we're bound to get offers at some point. But up front is the main area I want to strengthen in, and like I said, no one in the team is really. What I'm trying to say is, if a big bid came in for anybody, I would probably have to take it as long as I had time to get someone in to replace them, because I don't think there's anyone at the moment that's indispensable, apart from perhaps Vidio. He's been very good for us, and to be fair, the defence, the back four's been solid, nothing against any of them. They've all done really well, so they'll be staying. Midfield-wise, no one's been bad, but if a big bid was to come in, I could get someone better in, I'd probably do that. Up front, Baptiste has been okay on loan. He's our top scorer, but he's still only got 6 goals. And how many games in are we? I can't bother to go back and look there now, but I think we're about 18 games in. So that's not a great return. That's 1 in every 3 games. That's very average, just at best. Adan in goal's been okay. So Verdu and Juan Carlos between them have been good in Cam. So like I say, it is striker that I think we need to look at the most. Before we look at the shortlist, I'll show you the squad report. I know I showed it a few episodes ago, but we'll have a look again. Adam +1 still the same. Video still the same with his +1. Dos Santos has gone up 2 at this point. I can't remember if he'd gone up by 1 or not. You'll see he still played 16 games this season, so still had a good amount of football. Lorenzo Reyes +3, like I say, he's been really good. He's been playing a lot more lately. Who's that +2 there? Mattia. He probably won't play too much, to be honest. Didac +2, but like I say, he just doesn't feel as good in game. He's never going to play and die. Nacho's gone down by 1. He's 33. That's to be expected. Then you look at some of the people who got loaned out, and he looks okay, but obviously I've already pointed out we're doing pretty well at left back. There is one player here. He is Salvador Agra. 2.8 million is worth, 74 overall, right winger. He's been doing really well. Well, I don't mean he's been playing well. I mean his stats look very good. Power free kick, flair, high medium. So he's a player that we could definitely look to recall, perhaps for a boost in the transfer window. But I'll show you the shortlist that we're working on now. Here it is. It's quite a big one, and not all of them have been skated out. But Keylor Navas I was looking at as perhaps a bit better than Adan. He's worth 2 million, which I think is quite a good deal. What's his wage? Yeah, 30 grand a week. It's the problem, you see, we've not got a lot to play with. I think we really need to buy, sell to buy pretty much. But there's a couple down here that we could get. This Cam, he's only on 25 grand a week. 1.8 million he looked okay, but I don't think we really need Cam, but they're just players that played well against me. Here's someone, Pablo Sarabia, not quite sure you pronounce that, but he looked like really good against me, and he's only worth 1.3 million, wage of 15k, which tells me he's probably going to be in the low 70s rating wise, but he's young as well, so maybe if we've got a bit of spare money, be someone to bring in the future. Chikawi, you may recall he played against me for FC Zurich and looked pretty good, only worth 2.2 million, 25 grand a week. He could be okay, but again, Cammy's not somewhere but too desperate for. Can he play up front? He can play up front. Oh my god, 5-star weak foot, 5-star skills as well. That's pretty impressive. So he's perhaps one that's higher up on the list of someone that we could bring in. Susaiter, I think I said last time, probably going to be too much. Christian Teo, I thought could be a possibility on loan, but then you look at his wages of 70 grand a week, and that's absolutely ridiculous. So I don't think we'll be bringing him in. Eduardo, now he's 30, but I think he's my favoured person to bring in as another striker to perhaps do well for us. He's got decent all-round stats. His dribbling's good, and that's what we need more than anything, I think. Someone that's not so good in the air, bit better on the deck. I think he's got 4-star skill moves, so yep, yes, he's got 4-star skill moves, high-low. We can play cam and left wing, which is handy. But the other side of this is that we can get him on contract expiry. Now, should we bring him in now and hope that he can boost us for the rest of the season? Or should we wait till the end of the season when he'll be 31 then? He probably will have dropped a little bit. Because if I do sign him, it'll probably only be a one-year thing. So I don't think it's worth waiting for him. Are any of these expiring in 6 months, by the way? I didn't even really look. Chikowi. Susayeta, no. Oh wow, Susayeta's out for 2 weeks. He's had a lateral collateral ligament. That's a pretty nasty injury. Sarabia, no. Karamias, no. Aquino, no. He's another one that looks okay. They're worth 2 million on 20 grand a week, and I think he can play up front as well. Oh no, he can't. That's a lie. He can play cam though. 4-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves. Kaylor Navas, no. So I'll go back down to the bottom here. Money in. Again, I think I mentioned last time, going to be too expensive. And then Kevin Gamero. A player that I really like, but again, you look at his wages and his value, and it's absolutely crazy now. Like I was mentioning, we are probably going to be selling to buy, so let's have a look here. Video has had to be offered a new contract. I think I mentioned that before, because he was only on 5 grand a week and he wanted 15, and I can't say no to that because he's been really, really good for us, and 15 grand is still easily worth that. But let's have a look at some of these. Trouble is, to recall people, it costs money, and like to recall that guy, the one that looks good, it costs nearly £1 million, so that's not worth it. But loanees, is it worth cancelling any of these? Now, if I terminate his loan, I get 8 grand back in the wage, which is going to cost me 72 grand. Baptiste has been pretty decent, and it cost me quite a lot to cancel his loan, so there's no point doing that. Again, there it cost me 200k to do Juan Carlos's. Sara 270k. 360k for Didac, but he's on 50k a week. Wow, I did not know that. I think I'm going to have to cancel his loan. And Origi, as you know, we bought in on 15 grand a week, and he's been good. His value is only 1 million. He's someone that we could perhaps look to bring in on a perm at the end of the season. Didac, though, I think he's definitely going to have to go. Hang on a minute. Wage 20,000. Wage 50. Oh, that's obviously the percentage that we're paying. I apologise. So, yes, I wouldn't get 8 grand from Endo, we'd only get 4 grand back, so yeah, sorry about that. But Didac, still 20k, that's still a lot of money sitting on the bench. Is it worth the 360k? We'll have to see. If we sold someone else, it might be worth it. So let's have a look who we could perhaps sell now. Now, Adan, like I said, I'd like to keep him. We're looking at people that are worth a decent amount of money or on a lot of wage and not playing much. So these people all play. Castro, Molina. Pedro Lopez isn't worth a lot now. Rodriguez doesn't play a lot, but he's not worth that much. He's worth keeping for the backup. Mattia, he's only on 6 grand. Nosa on 35 grand a week, and he's worth 4.6 million. That's quite a lot, but he's a good player for us, actually, thinking about it. Verdu, 40 grand a week on 4, and he's worth 4.4 million. That's quite a lot for him for his contribution. And yeah, I don't know, it's hard to say. The ironic thing is, if you look at someone that's been bought in and not really worth the 40k, it's probably Dos Santos, but we'll hopefully get him playing more, and he's young. But I already did it. I forgot I'd done this already. Like Salva Sevilla and Perkis were the two, worth a little bit of money each, 2 million and 1.5, pretty much either way, a little bit either way. And if we sold those two, we'd get 45 grand back in our wages, and that would push us up to 65 altogether, which is no laughing matter. And if we could get up to about 6 to 7 million, then we could perhaps worth be cancelling. I'd forgot I'd looked at all this earlier on, I apologise. Look at cancelling Didac's loan. That'd put us up to 85 grand a week. And then we're looking at like a good amount of money then to be spending. We can tweak that 85k a little bit as well. So if that up was all to come through, we'd probably have about 5 million to spend, 80k, so it'd be worth looking at. We could then perhaps, if I go back to the shortlist now, past it there, we could perhaps bring in Eduardo. You know, we might even be able to bring in Muniain. You never know. I think if that was to happen, we'd be able to bring in 2 good players. Eduardo would be the first. I think he's a definite signing that we're going to make. Chikowi, now that'd be tempting. He's only worth 2.2. So yeah, there's a lot to think about here, but Yeah, I think Shikowi and Eduardo would perhaps be the way to go. Not young players, but players that are good quality and can produce. I mean, again, I'm not sure on Shikowi's overall rating. I'll guess it's the mid-70s again, same as Eduardo, on the value in the age. Aquina might be another one we could bring in. It'd really have to wait and see how it panned out, but if we get some offers in for those two players, I think we'll definitely be doing a bit of tinkering and improving our squad in January. But you'll have to let me know who you think we should bring in. Like I said, we've got the Spanish Cup game now, so I can't really advance either a couple of days. Well, I'll have to look towards the next at wow. Barcelona winning 7-0 there just caught my eye. But yeah, we've got the second leg of this game. Then if we win this, I'm assuming we get Atletico Madrid in the next round. It should be a tough draw, unless it's just completely a randomised draw. Obviously, I don't know. But yeah, you'll have to let me know, guys, who you think I should be signing. And before the video ends, actually, I would just like to thank you all for your support on this series and my channel in general. Obviously, I'm pretty new to YouTube. I've only been doing this for 2 weeks now, 2 or 3 weeks, and I've just hit my 10th or 11th subscriber, which may not be a lot to a lot of people, but to me it was like a nice little mini milestone that I hit earlier, 10 subscribers, and the first episode of this actually hit 50 views as well, which I was really happy about. And this will be something that I will continue to keep on pumping out, hopefully on a daily basis if I can. Be mainly FIFA, perhaps a bit of Destiny, but obviously when the new FIFA comes out I'll be focusing on that again. And I think I'm just going to keep on rolling with this Real Betis career mode until FIFA 15 does come out, so we'll just keep on going. I mean, if finish this season and there's only a couple of days till the new FIFA, I'll obviously leave it at that point, but I think we'll be finishing it comfortably before FIFA 15, so we might be able to get a couple of seasons in, you never know, we'll have to just wait and see. But yeah, like I said, thank you very much for the support, it really does mean a lot to me, and I appreciate that you're doing that for me. Like I say, thank you very much, everybody. Let me know who you think we should be bringing in, if you've got any ideas for players that we could bring in. You know roughly what kind of money and budget we're working with now, so that'll give you a better idea of people that we could bring in. But thank you very much for watching. If you're new to me, I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe to my channel, and if all of you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you'd leave a like. And like I say, drop down in the comments down below some people that you think we could bring in, or just some general feedback for me. And I appreciate you watching, and I shall see you all next time.